Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm going to be looking at the Wizard's Tarot today. These are published by Llewellyn worldwide. This is the box they come in. They're by Corrine, illustrated by John J. Bloomer. Box opens at the side there, which is a little bit different. Not a bad box. It's normal card, but it's quite strong. You have a spare initiate card. This is the Fool. As I say, that's a spare one. You've got your instruction manual. There are no pictures in this, just at the front, but it does give you meanings of the cards. And it gives you some deck samples to try, not deck samples, layout samples to try as well. Just at the back. It's nicely stapled, although very basic. These are cards, nice size, I can get my hands around them there. That's the back. They're not embossed, but they are quite dark. The cardstock is not too bad. They're not as strong as some of the others, so I reckon that if you were to use these all of the time, then you may need to replace them after a few years. But these are the major arcana. As I say, there's a spare initiate card. This is the Fool. You can see they've got a border around, and I've come across some people who like to cut off that border, so they're just left with the picture in the middle. And that, as I say, is entirely your choice. Some people don't like doing that, some people do, and also some people like to colour around the sides. Again, that's your choice. So you've got the initiate. As you can see, there's some lovely colours on these cards, a lot of symbolism on there as well. Colours stand out quite a lot. It almost seems to be a cross between modern pictures on the cards and ancient or medieval. I'll use them for myself to have a look through. You can see there are the rooms at the back. I've not used them to read for other people, and I think the one reason for that was because the combination of the modern and the medieval. I prefer one or the other, I think, but that's my choice. But I do like these cards. They are really stunning images. So that was the major arcana. When we go into the minor arcana, you've got the wands, and you can see there's some nice pictures, but basically, well, I would say almost the same as the Rider-Waite images, just with a few differences. So they've kept to the standard images of the cards and pictures instead of pips, which I prefer. And some people like the pips. And again, that's personal preference. You have to try with both, I think, to see which you prefer, and then there's some decks you may prefer the pips, whereas some other decks you may prefer the actual pictures. but it's only using them to find out what you like. Now this is the swords. Well, there you go. You can see they've stuck to the standard imagery of the minor arcana. But some lovely colours on the cards, lovely artwork. I think it's a nice one to have in the collection if you collect them. And then we come to the cups. The imagery is quite vibrant, a lot of detail in the background. You can see really vivid colours. Then we have the pentacles. I think it's a lovely ace of pentacles there. But as I say, some people do like to cut off the border, so they're just left with the picture in the middle, and it does look quite nice. It gives it actually a completely different look. I haven't done that with any of mine, but that's just my personal choice. I prefer not to. But it's, you know, if it's something that you want to try, it's another way of having your cards, isn't it? So, as I say, you have to try different things or have a play around to see what works for you and what doesn't. That's the only thing that you can do, because we all have our own opinions. We all have our own likes and dislikes when it comes to the cards. I mean, I personally don't like people touching my cards or picking them up, and I know other people are completely the opposite. They like people to handle their cards all the time. And that again is just something that's personal preference, and you know, you may change your mind as you go through the years that you're reading. It's one of those things. But if you like the review, if you like those cards, click like, and also if you want to see any more of my cards, click subscribe, and that will just tell you when I publish another review. Okay, so thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.